Instead of going online and buying a $4 dice.
No, they're $50. They're $50.
$50?
Yeah, they're selling for $50. Yes.
Whoa. Welcome to MTZWBY with you, America's most YOLOing TCG podcast. We don't do any mic checks here. I'm first joined by the man with 1 foot, no weight, no feet, Josh.
What's up, everyone?
So wait, Josh, you burned your foot on a George Foreman grill.
Not on a George Foreman grill, but I did spill boiling water on my foot. There's like a giant hole grill in the top of my foot.
Can we show him, or should we say that?
I'm not showing, Mike. It is very disgusting.
This week on the MTZWBY with you OnlyFans, Josh shares his burned feet pics.
I'm in. I'm also joined by the hoodieless wonder himself. I don't think I've ever seen you without a hoodie. I didn't know you had t-shirts.
It is 1,000,000 degrees outside. I thought about spreading grass seed today. That's how hot it is outside.
You know, so like we went for ice cream tonight. It was very delicious. And like it was like, God, like this is weird. It's February. This is great. I'm loving this.
Yeah. We're also joined by the man who gets vanilla ice cream, everyone. Vanilla ice cream. George eats vanilla
dipped.
Vanilla ice cream.
It was dipped vanilla ice cream. It has dip around it. You can't get, if you have too strong of a flavor, you don't taste the dip.
Not chocolate dip, but
no, not chocolate dip. No, birthday cake dip.
Yeah. Birthday cake ice cream is great.
Yes.
Why circumvent the birthday cake ice cream? Why go vanilla ice cream?
Because they don't have it. It's a soft serve place.
Oh well, then get better ice cream.
I disagree. I actually think that kind of sounds delicious. I think I would still go chocolate though.
No,
like, chocolate.
No, you can't taste it then.
I don't.
We need to preface this. We're all a little heavy. We think all ice cream sounds delicious.
When George has said you can't taste it, then I initially said to myself, like, I don't really care about tasting things anymore. It's more like the feeling when it's.
I just want to not be sad. This is America's most depressing TCG podcast. That's what this is.
That's sad.
The way that it makes me feel is.
Why?
I'm in.
I'm fat and overweight. All right, everyone. Today on the podcast, we got lots of Magic the Gathering stuff to talk about. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, join us for the ride. Thank you for giving us an hour or so of your day. We're going to do our best this week to stay on topic. We had a great discussion about staying on topic this week with everyone. We're going to talk about Phyrexian pre-release.
Okay, that's not true. Just so everybody
knows. We did not
knows.
have that discussion.
You just had that discussion with neither of us.
And also, the biggest lie you've ever told is that we might be out of here in an hour. No chance.
Or that we'll stay on topic. 2 lies in 30 seconds. Welcome to MTZWBY with you.
We're going to talk about Phyrexian being sold out pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere.
Other than me. We're going to talk about Josh if he had $1,200 to spend, because he brought up a great question to us in a chat the other day.
If Josh had $1,200, this is great. Go ahead.
Yeah, like why am I the broke guy in the podcast?
I'm in.
We're going to talk about sorcery beta. There's some new information about sorcery we want to chat about. We're going to talk about we're going to share my cryptic promo. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek right now. My cryptic promo for my event. And then we're also going to talk about the Pokemon effect in Cryptic, because I think it's a cool conversation to have. And then we're going to talk about some stuff with MetaZoo partners that's going around both outside of the partner group and inside of the partner group. There's 2 different things we want to have a conversation about. So without further ado, let's talk about some TCGs, fellas. How was pre-release, George?
Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Yeah. There were no seats left in the store. Are you both drinking Miller Lite?
No, I've been drinking Modelo.
It's
delicious.
I guess I also have delicious water here in case anybody wants any.
My water's imported from Mexico, so
okay, that makes sense. And so like I had no seats left. I had no boxes left by the end of the pre-release weekend. That's not fair. I had one sad-looking draft box in my case at the end of the weekend.
And like did you just open it because it was lonely? I hope you did.
Like, you go to the pound and there's that like ancient dog and you're like, God, I could really adopt that dog. And like that was that one sad box of Phyrexian. Like this that was stupid. I sold more boxes this weekend than any other weekend in store history. This was crazy. This was a totally insane pre-release. totally insane.
Yeah.
Tyler, let us know if that's true in the comments.
We had 23 of our 24 seats filled. Keep in mind, my current building is like 1,000 square feet. It was completely packed head to toe. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved the theme and enjoyed the set. I saw pictures. Josh, did you go to any pre-releases?
I wasn't able to go to any pre-releases for this one, unfortunately.
Okay.
I had family weekend. It's great.
Family weekend. You got a kid now. It's just like, you know,
tough.
Yeah, I get it. So I've just was on Facebook perusing different stores and people I follow and whatever. Everyone was completely sold out of like pre-release kits. I talked to a store who they sold out of pre-release kits for 3 different pre-releases, and usually they do 1 pre-release. Like, it was this is one of those sets where people came back to Magic who hadn't played for 5 years, 10 years, whatever. They saw Phyrexia, they came back and they wanted to play. I said this in a video earlier this week. I thought we could maybe discuss it a little bit on the podcast. I think more people played Magic the Gathering on Friday night of this past week at pre-release than any time since the pandemic. Like, and maybe even before that, like I could maybe go all the way back to Throne of Eldraine is what I was. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is like
when War of the Spark.
Well, War was before that, I think.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I think since that block, since those kind of sets, I think more people played Magic the Gathering in an LGS this past weekend than any time since then. Which is, if you asked me if I could say something about this set, if I was like, what would success look like for this set? That defines it. Like, sure, boxes selling out or boxes being X amount of dollars is great for stores, whatever. But people in the seats at the LGS, it like doesn't get better than that. And so I think that was a massively successful set from that perspective, and that's a huge win.
I totally agree. I think I made the same point, and actually in another video that I think comes out today, it's my first shot at a vlog style thing. I quoted you and said, well, I don't know if there's any, there's no data that I have to support that. Every one of my contacts in the industry, as well as MinMax Games, sold every seat for every pre-release. It was wild. I've never heard of that before. There's always 1 or 2. And then I went to a pre-release at another local game store around AFR times, Crimson Vow times, and it was sad. There was a game store, very well known, normally packed to the brim for Magic events, had 4 people for a pre-release. It was just awful. So it was, I saw the same pictures, I heard the same stories. That was great. And I think it's worth noting that all those players going out and kind of doing what the experience George had, where they're buying boxes and they're probably opening some of them around their friends. They're doing that fun things. It builds more excitement for the set. So we're attached to it a little bit longer than we would have been otherwise. I think that's going to help, and you'll see that in the market and the price of these boxes going forward.
Yeah. I totally agree with that statement, that like that kind of it creates a nostalgia for the set that lasts longer than the set's important or exciting or your polls.
It's also a long time for the next set, relatively speaking.
In Magic terms, yeah.
I mean, like, it's not like, there's a little while. I mean, like, something we should say is that distro is getting more set boxes in this week.
That's it's a standard Magic set. Yeah,
like, we're already getting more in, I think, today.
But no word on collectors.
Huh?
No word on collectors, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, there'll be
dangerous road, Louis.
I think there'll be more restock.
Yeah,
if not FOMO in. Don't really FOMO in. Like, I don't.
One of us still has collector boxes in stock. That would be me.
I got some in order today. I got some more right now. You can order from me.
I have collector boxes in stock.
And it's the set caught everybody off guard. It felt like when I talked to the stores. Like, I think we all expected to have a good turnout. I don't think anybody expected it to be like, oh my God, I've sold out of everything and I need more.
Yeah, and I still don't. I think the set and the theme is really cool. I still am on the line, and people I talked to at my pre-release, like, we didn't sell very many collector boxes because people didn't like that kind of foiling and that kind of thing.
My store loved it.
And there's still a lot of people waiting for the Step and Complete bundles. So it's kind of a weird feeling for me as a store, because we had a ton of people there. But the buying hasn't really like come back like it maybe used to be in Magic the Gathering. Somebody actually after my pre-release, they was just hanging out and I was cleaning the store. We were just hanging out talking. Shout out to Logan. And Logan was like, what the heck? No.
A great name.
Logan was like, what the heck? I was like, what? He's like, I've never seen so many people at a Magic pre-release and so few boxes opened.
That's wild.
I said, yeah, man. Like I'm like baffled by it. And I've evaluated this a little bit. I think a little bit is the tightness of the store. And so with the expansion coming, like I hope like that changes and people have a space to open it up and whatever. But I was just kind of talking to him, but I said, why do you think that is? Because like I have my own opinions on why I think that is. And he just said, I think people are like, there's just so much all the time. And nothing feels, he's like, I'm just going to buy the singles that I want for, my commander decks. Nothing feels special to me from an opening experience. And like, I think that's probably true. I do think like with the complete bundle, I think there will be something special. I think those do look really, really unique and special and thematic and fun. And I wish those were in the collector boxes, to be honest.
Sure. Nothing but love to Logan, but he seems to be the outlier. Like Distro is sold out of collectors. Everybody was begging for collectors, and they didn't have any left. I mean, like collectors were flying. Like, I mean, like people love that little foil thing with the little set symbol on it. I mean, that's why they sold them. I mean, like, people loved it.
It's controversial. Min-Max guys hated it. Other local game stores, another community loved it. You guys have people that love it and hate it. Yeah. It seems like you're not in the middle. You're either all in or all out.
Yeah,
I'm all in, baby. I
have not personally heard from anybody. In my comment section has been pretty against it too. Like I don't know. I kind of asked the question
if the YouTube comment section says it, I'll concede.
Because like you have to assume that at some point,
Wizards, what did 4chan say?
You have to assume that at some point Wizards like made a bunch of foiling and sat it in front of like a group of people, and that group of people decided on this one.
We went down the foiling road 2 weeks in a row. We're avoiding the foiling road this week. I'm 100.
Someone's got to like it. I'm just not that guy.
We're not avoiding the foiling road. We're gonna fight.
Complete bundles in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
is it 2 or 3? Is it 2?
I don't know. I think it's 2 weeks.
I mean, like that will be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how other products react to that one coming out.
Can I do a negative shout out? I did a positive shout out to Logan. Can I do a negative shout out?
I'm in.
Is it one of us?
I want to burn Crawling Chorus. You suck, Crawling Chorus. I got curb stomped by this card in pre-release. This is a 1/1 for 1 white mana that completely decimated me. I thought it was a seller.
I don't know what's going on right now.
I was 3-0 going in pre-release. I was rocking it. I had this amazing green-black toxic deck. I had like 3 giant green bombs. I was destroying everyone.
Yeah.
And then game 4, I got put up against Gale, who actually ended up winning my pre-release. And he had like 4 of these stupid things, and I couldn't do anything. He kept flickering them and bringing them back and bringing them out of the graveyard. I couldn't do anything about it. I was so ridiculously pissed. I hate this card and its stupid artwork.
R.I.P. our guy. Moment of silence for Louis. All right, thank you for that moment of silence. Great job today, man. Good job.
Also, I think I'm gonna try to build around it in Popper. So like I hate it, but maybe I'll like it. In a couple of weeks.
Let's go, dude. I love it. Everything you're saying right now is part of that emotional set attachment. And just to touch on kind of the conversation you and George were having about kind of the duality of the Magic fan, right? Whether you're buying boxes or not. And again, I agree. It seems like that the people not buying product might be in the minority here based on distribution and sales and stuff across different games or what, but you never know. But it does seem to be maybe this is the evolution of the Magic consumer, right? And the Fireside chat, they said, hey, interact with Magic and buy the products that interest you. That could have been some people's siren song. The professor's been screaming from the hills, only buy singles. That could have been the final, straw that breaks the camel's back. We're like, I'm not buying the sealed product anymore. We finally have people committing to enjoying Magic that way.
And Josh, I agree with you. Also, not just people, but stores. And George, I would maybe argue with you that maybe this was one of a lower ordered set Like
From Distro?
yeah, like
I think it was a lower ordered set from Distro.
and we didn't get cut. Everyone, like nobody got. I didn't really hear of anybody getting cut.
That wouldn't mean it's a lower ordered set from Distro if nobody got cut.
No, it means that stores ordered less. So if you're like, people are now going back to Distro and saying, I want more, because stores ordered less, thinking that the set wasn't going to do very well. And it did really well. It's successful. And so the supply has just been less on the market, causing, what we're seeing. That's kind of what I think is happening. Stores sold out of their new order that they did, and they undershot the market.
Maybe, but the stores that kept the faith are being rewarded, right? Because they are selling out a product. A lot of popular stores are selling all of their boxes.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like,
keep the faith. Magic to the moon. My video today was why Magic and Wizards is so successful after the Hasbro announcement. I'm risking it for the biscuit, baby. Let's go.
I'm in.
Oh, we're not even talking about the Hasbro thing.
Too bad. We already picked our topics. Continue.
Don't you dare switch up the words on the screen or do them in any other order. All heck will break loose.
Yeah, I also had somebody at pre-release. This is crazy. Sam pulled a pre-release foil Elish Norn, and then in her 6 packs pulled a pack foil Elish Norn. So
she won, right?
No, she didn't. She got third.
Oh, that sucks. I would want to win with that pull, but sometimes it's not in the cards. Shout out Sam, sweet pulls.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, like, this is a memorable set. Like, I really do agree with you. Like, this has Throne of Eldraine on it. This has Dwarf Spark on it. I think this is a set if you're not
set of the year.
No. Listen, Lord of the Rings, guys. Come on.
No.
Standard release set of the year.
No, and I will call it right now. This will do better than the Lord of the Rings set in my guess.
That's the hottest. Not a chance.
Write it down.
Listen,
Write it down.
If Wizards screws up the Lord of the Rings set, Wizards absolutely can do that. Then I don't know, man.
I don't know if it's possible to have less faith in diverse craziness.
Really?
Like, none.
Wow.
None.
Wow, that's
no faith.
Even after Warhammer's success?
The one product that wasn't a box, they made it a success. That's true.
We haven't really seen many other products stored.
We saw 10,000. We saw the D&D sets.
The D&D sets weren't Universes Beyond.
But they were like the IP related sets.
No, you listen. I
think Wizards does. I think Wizards struggles with alternative IP. I do.
I think that there's a team for Universes Beyond that focus on Universes Beyond products. I think there's a team that focuses on Secret Lair. Remember when I talked about the contact I had that told me that Secret Lair was competing for printer space, and that's why the decks were delayed? Because like literally they're so segregated in their company.
Yep.
Like, I think that Universes Beyond is its own little blah 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 section of the company.
I want you all to remember this. I'm calling it right now.
Listen.
This set will fare better than Lord of the Rings.
What does that mean? Quantify that.
Yes.
And Josh, take notes. Josh, take notes.
I don't know how to quantify is a problem, right? I mean, like,
you want to do percentage above distro cost?
Oh, I can do that. That's easy.
Okay, let's do percentage above released distro cost. So if boxes are $5, whatever.
Yep.
All right, that's good. I like that.
I'm in. No question.
I think you're crazy.
Okay.
I think
like
you're
a fox.
Josh, did you hear that? He's doing.
I did. I had my headphones on. I can't find a pen. I wanted to put it in the background so we always remembered this, because that's the wildest take I've heard. There's
no question.
So you're essentially saying Modern Horizons 3 is going to be Baldur's Commander Legends 2?
Nope, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it won't do as well as this set.
I cannot see how.
All right, you want to put some? Are we putting money?
I think this set. I think this is a. I think Wizards is going to struggle with the IP.
Interesting.
I hope I'm wrong. As somebody who really needs Modern Horizons to pump hard, I really hope I'm wrong.
Distro had MH2 set boxes.
What's going on here? Why is this attack George time? Why is this attack? Like what? What, you got beef?
Listen, I've always viewed the Horizon sets, and again, this is my bubble, as like pure player sets, and players are going to be like, I don't care what IP they stamp on this card. is it viable in my deck? That's the way I feel.
We go. And there we go. And now we found it. That's exactly. I agree with you. I agree with that part entirely.
You're wild. That's a wild take, dude.
Great. Mark it down.
So why would that make it? Why would that make it bad?
Because I
it's not
think they're
collectible.
gonna, bingo.
Because they're going to
struggle to make. They're going to struggle to make these. They're going to struggle to reach both markets. They're going to miss both because of it.
I forgot what a video it was in this week, but I set it into a camera. I do a podcast with two bozos that believe that it doesn't matter how many people play the game. If it's not collectible, it won't do anything. People won't buy it. And people are out there buying Baldur's Gate boxes to draft with their friends because they're crazy.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate, big success. I'm with you, Josh. Huge success.
I'm sorry.
Huge
Rudy
success.
called it the box that he sells the most of. I've seen people buy it in numbers off the shelf constantly. I don't understand it. I don't get it either.
To say it's below distribution cost is to vastly understate how cheap it is.
Yeah.
Okay, people
Baldur's
are still
Gate
buying
collector
it.
boxes are $80 below my cost.
They're buying the draft
Roughly.
box. They're buying the draft box
Oh yeah. Okay,
because they're playing
Josh,
the game.
stop. Baldur's Gate. There is as somebody who has defended Wizards more than anybody else on the internet.
It's a terrible set, but
Josh,
people are still buying
it's hard
it.
to say that Baldur's Gate was a rousing success.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that.
Baldur's Gate is a better set than George is giving it credit for. The distro cost was just way astronomically too high. Way too high.
Might be true.
Way too high.
I think that's true. I don't think it's a good set still. I think it's a miss.
Collector box prices for Baldur's Gate collector boxes were $40 higher than for Phyrexia All Will Be One.
Yep.
It's insane. It's insanity. They
when you put it into that perspective, it's wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wild Wild West.
Respectively sad.
Modern Horizons 3 collector boxes are going to be so expensive.
So it's not but let's be clear. It's not. Has it been officially touted as MH3?
No, but that's been the rumor.
Right, because right now
I'm sticking with it.
It's the same format, right? Like it's legal in Modern and Legacy.
Yeah.
But it's not plagued as MH3, which is interesting.
It is interesting.
Anyway, this is not an MH3 podcast, but this is a great set. I'm excited for it. I still think like if I was investing in this, I would go set boxes and the bundles. The Phyrexian
The bundles are so hard to tell, like because of the weird release cycle that's capping this.
You're not suggesting to go pay like over $100 for it, though, right? You're not that
for what?
You're not that brilliant
for the bundles. No, God, no. I would say between 80 and 90 probably for the bundles.
Yeah. I think you could convince me that that's okay.
That's okay.
That's totally okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Like I think like that's the price for the bundle, assuming that there's not like a massive second stock. But usually bundles there's not. Like usually bundles are.
I said this last week. That's a good call.
Kind of a one and done thing.
So it's weird to have you on the other side of the fence this week.
I just the collector box for me, like I would just I'm hands off of the collector boxes. I mean, I still have a bunch, so I'm not. But like from a individual standpoint, I don't know. It's just not my game. But I could be way off. Anyway, in Crawling Course, you can go burn in a fiery pit. Okay, you ready to move on?
You could burn them in a fiery pit. Like you could make that happen.
That artwork's just freaking sketchy too.
You should get it in the complete foil because that would make you love the card that much.
Well, it's a common, so it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that one, the stupid one that I hate. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to out of stock. I guess we kind of already talked about this.
Let's do it again. So distro's out and everybody's pulled out of their boxes. What do you guys think about this? How does it make you feel?
I think you should contact a game store that still has boxes in stock. Louis, where could you find one of those?
Hey, yeah, Cavdane's Market, soon to be Game Grove, but cavdanesmarket.com. You can pick up collector boxes at I think $225 is what got listed. Free shipping.
Oh my God. Really?
Mm-hmm. Been up there. Patrons.
You're listening to this from my store. Don't go there.
Patrons. I don't remember where I gave patrons off that. I think I don't remember.
$2.25?
Yeah.
You didn't sell out?
Nope. I sold one, maybe two. Yeah. It's crazy.
Couldn't sell a glass of water to a dude in the desert. What's going on, man? What are you doing?
Listen, like it's just I said this also in the video. Like there's a strong rural area swing too for Magic the Gathering. Like $225 for somebody who's paying $700 in rent is a lot more money than $225 for someone who's paying $2,500 a month in rent. Like
I think the price definitely has a different perspective based on what you're doing, where you live, anything like that.
So those of you who watch the podcast and care about me and my store and are looking to buy boxes anyway, you've got it.
We're happy to have both of you here.
I'm at $14.99.
No, you're not. I know how much your price. You're like $25 more than me.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah,
I'm at $5 more than Louis, but you don't have to talk to Louis to buy one.
I'm in.
You wait. I want to be very clear. You don't have to talk to me. I would prefer it if you just go to the website and buy it. To be honest, it's way less work for me. So anyway, yeah, I'm not out of stock, but a lot of other people are. So, interesting. So, I did sell all my pre-release kits, though. Interesting. Not to locals.
Case, it doesn't count.
The 1,200 pre-release kit sale. Let's go.
This is crazy. You guys know those dice?
Yeah.
You know that the pre-release kits are trackable? They have a different. Yeah. This is crazy.
I saw a video about that. Who made that video? We should shout them out. Is this the same video you're talking about?
Somebody just
people
posted
have way too much time on their hands.
No, it's just a label. It's a different label. One in the 15 boxes in your case of a pre-release kit will have a different label on it, and that label is the one that has the Phyrexian dice. Yeah,
that's
it's
not great.
No,
that's not great.
No, it's just like right
That's
there.
not ideal.
So I didn't know that. So whatever.
Thank God. Otherwise, you would have taken that one for yourself.
I definitely would have kept the last pre-release kit and like opened that one, just knowing that I could get the dice, because it's like 1 in 15. It's not necessarily one per case, and I definitely wanted a Phyrexian die because dice are sweet. So I would have guaranteed that I got one. And opened all of them still, but like guaranteed that I got one.
Instead of going online and buying a $4 dice.
No, they're $50. They're $50.
$50?
Yeah, they're selling for $50. Yes.
All right,
It's not a $4 dice. It's a 1 in 15 chase that you can map, but like a 1 in 15 chase dice. It's $50.
You're saying a lot of words that aren't supposed to go next to one another. Just,
They're $50?
Yeah.
$50. Is this a situation that there's 200 dice in the world and there's 100 people who want them? So
you guys are so wrong about dice. It's unbelievable.
Let me be very clear here.
I'm aware
I used to be so wrong about dice. I'll tell you my dice story real quick. I had a store manager at the time, and he was like, George, you need to get some dice for the store. And I'll never forget this. I bought like 4D6s, 4D20s, 4 of everything basically. And I was like, now he'll stop whining about not having dice. Figuring out that would last me 150 years. Sold them all the same day. I now buy dice by like the mega case from China.
Yeah, dice are insane.
You know this. I give them to you.
Yeah, dice are
like I go through a metric ton of dice. It's the highest margin by a mile. Dice are amazing to sell, and I have no idea why everybody buys them, but I appreciate it.
I have a million of those cases of dice that I have just like accumulated as like I'll be at the store playing Commander, and I'll be like, oh, my dice don't match my Commander. Time to buy a new set of dice.
See, the great part about having a YouTube channel that was based around gameplay is everyone used to come over to play and leave dice. So I have accumulated they left them. I didn't take anyone's dice.
Wow.
They left them on my table.
You are a dice thief. You are Robbie. Robbie is my friend who always just steals my dice. And I'll be like, Robbie, where did you get that die?
Why does it have Phyrexian on it? Why is it actually with Louis' dice on the D20 side? What's going on here?
He's like, oh, I took that from you. You seem to have enough of them.
That is not the
Robbie, that's
let me
stealing.
be very clear to the chat. That is not what I said
That's
at all.
Basically what he said.
That is not what I said at all. These
It's
people
like a
left
rounding
the
error to what he
dice
said.
on my table.
It's close enough.
All right, let's
hate
go
this
into
podcast.
Josh's major issue in life today. Josh,
Yeah.
I get roasted for dice, and I get made fun of for having no money. Great. Thanks,
Josh has $1,200 to his name. No, you texted us.
I have $1,200.
Oh my
right
gosh.
here.
George. He's flexing cash on the screen.
No, I have. No, I have. It's for the bit.
Oh,
You guys.
Did you go to the bank for the bit for the podcast?
Yeah, I went to the bank for the bit.
Oh my God! I apologize to all the viewers.
George, you're the guy that traveled like 30 minutes to get a piece of raw chicken to.
And I want you to know I regret that, and we'll go over that in a minute. And you did not eat one for Lorcana.
To eat crow.
You could have eaten one for Lorcana, and I regret eating my cold chicken. But we'll go over that in a minute. If I could uneat that cold, disgusting chicken, I would.
All right, Josh, what did you text us yesterday?
So I was looking at buying possibly what was it, a revised starter deck?
Yep.
It was a revised starter deck, and it was selling for about $1,200. And I got my buying and selling chops in cars, so I always feel like I can negotiate every price all the time. So I was like, I'm not paying $1,200 for this. But it sparked an interesting conversation with Louie and I, me being all in on serialized cards, seeing this revised deck, and thinking, I have $1,200. What is the correct way to spend this money? What should I be buying? And I struggle. I want to buy serialized cards. I need you guys to explain to me why that's not the move.
Okay, can we be very clear to the comment section that's already typing? Dear Mr. Commenter, Mrs. Commenter, Josh probably already invests in his 401k. I'm guessing Josh already has a stable.
Do I have to say that?
Yeah, you do, because they're going to be like, don't invest in cards. It's stupid. And
so,
like,
we talked. I guess I should preface this too. I came to the conclusion I just like to buy things that I like. We talked about the revised starter deck. It's not something that I think has a chance to greatly appreciate in value. I think it would look cool on my shelf. I just like it.
So this is your not video game. Sorry, I used to have a video game budget. This is your. Do you guys with your wives? Do you guys have like do you budget out things like this is the amount of like that's how we used to be? Now I have a business and cards, so I don't have to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly why I started Hometown TCG, because I don't have to have that conversation ever again.
Anyway, so this is your not video game, your Magic the Gathering spending allowance. You do not need to invest this anywhere else. You're going to spend it on Magic anywhere.
Okay,
you're really hammering this.
Here's the 3 options I think you have.
Well, it's either that or my kid could eat, I guess.
I'm in. That one's not a problem. There's shelters for that. So the way I see it is there's 3 different tranches of goods that you could buy with this, right?
I think like tranches. I'm so in.
I think like the safest one is the revised deck. That's what I would do candidly.
Ooh,
like because that one won't go down meaningfully, in my opinion. It won't go up a lot, but it's gonna be safe. Okay. I think there's the highest potential to go up considerably. And I think that's like Throne and War of the Spark, that era boxes.
Shout out to War of the Spark.
Like I think that is like the highest upside, but like also like, listen, there's a lot of those boxes. It's not as cool, not as haps.
It's definitely not as sexy as a revised box.
No. And then I think there's
a revised deck.
Then I think there's Your Only True Love, of course, which is
serialized Magic cards.
Yeah, that's it. And
which is the highest risk, highest reward
by a mile.
Yeah,
like they could be worth $50 or $5,000.
Yeah,
that sounds like a pretty good swing.
And then if it goes to one direction, like. What do I do? I would frankly buy the revised deck because I think that's coolest. I think that is something I enjoy owning.
Yeah, it has a cool factor, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like I remember having revised decks. Like I think that would be cool.
Oh, hold on. I'm not that old, George. Like I don't remember having revised decks.
So
I do. And like I think that would be like to me, like I would like, I have an affinity for Throne and I have affinity for revised decks. Like those are the things that I would buy.
But what I'm hearing before I let Louis go, and I really like your points. We're thinking along the same lines. You're higher on the revised deck not dropping than I was. I was like, I could maybe see this thing. And I'll let Louis explain kind of his thought process behind that. But you're saying, hey, these are the things I have affinity for. So while you're telling me Throne and revised deck, what you're really telling me with that conclusion is it's all serialized cards, baby, because that's what I have an affinity for. You're like, that's
like, listen, I think here was my lesson for the last few months. Don't buy anything you don't love.
Gosh, it's making it hard. Okay.
Cardboard is cardboard could all become worthless, and you want something you're going to like.
Yeah, it's tough to it's
And
tough
Louis
to
about
look
to
at
tell
if
you to buy
don't like
cryptic
it.
boxes, so just be ready. Am I right?
No, this is Magic. We have to be on Magic. That was the deal.
Yes.
I thought Louis would be like, buy cryptic singles. Captain'sMarket.com. Buy
All right.
designer slabs.
I want to be very clear. I 100% agree with everything George just said. Whatever you spend the $1,200 on needs to be something that you love. Case in point, I bought this 4th edition box sometime last year, or I traded for this 4th edition box sometime last year. This 4th edition box, I have 0 goals in life for this to go. This could go to $5. If it went to $5, I would buy another one to draft. Actually, I'd probably draft this one because it's kind of beat it. But like it would be fun to draft. I have 0 aspirations to ever sell this box. I have 0 desire to see the value increase or decrease. I don't care. I don't check it. It's part of Louis' collection now. It'll go to my daughter and she can sell it if she wants, along with her very large Pokemon collection that she will get.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. So like I think you need to buy something you love. On the second side, if you are looking at it as an investment, I do think a revised starter deck has some inherent flaws to it. Mainly that the quantity of revised starter decks is not X minus the next one that gets opened. When you think of sealed product, like this 4th edition box, the quantity is X minus the future whatever gets opened. You can't make more of these boxes. Revised starter decks, the individual starter decks, somebody can open up a brick of starter decks to sell the brick of starter decks, and there's all of a sudden, I think there's 10 in a brick or 8 in a brick, I don't know off the top of my head, and all of a sudden there's now X plus 8 revised starter decks on the market. I see a revised starter deck in the same way that I see a revised booster pack, in that it's something to put on a shelf to collect and to enjoy. It's not necessarily something that's going to see an increase in value, because there are people who break open like a revised. I know a guy that he actually makes decent money. He buys revised booster boxes and he sells and grades the pack. So he buys a box for whatever it is, $12,000, and he sells all 36 packs and sends them off to grading and sells the PSA 9, sells the PSA 10s, so, whatever. And so there is always a new supply of the packs that have to be absorbed by people who have whatever it is, $400, $500 to buy a revised pack. So
right,
that's the inherent flaw in the deck, is that like there's not just time, but also the downwards pressure of it's not the highest version of the product available, if that makes sense.
Right. So if the conversation was sealed starter deck bricks, it would be a different conversation, because then it follows into there are X minus whatever future is opened available forever in the market. And I see what you're saying. And the thing that came to me, and I did a little research because we had this conversation while I was on lunch at work, and then I kind of looked this up. There's more revised. No, I'm at work. Listen, George.
I was at lunch at work.
I was working the other day too.
Yeah.
Some of us actually have to work, you two fun-employed bozos.
How I would have believed you until you like made a point to say that you were at lunch at work.
I asked Louis what I should eat, and then I found out Subway sandwiches are $10 now, and I was out. I was so
They're
mad.
crazy. They're crazy.
I went in.
Subway's
I asked how much.
$10?
Yeah. I asked how much a meatball sub was. They told me $10. I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry. Have a great day," and I left.
Yep. 100%.
I went to the grocery store. I bought bread, ham, and cheese, and I went back to the office. That is what happened. I was mad. I
would keep the $1,200 in cash. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I think you probably.
What Louis said. I would actually just keep the cash at this point.
I never looked at you as somebody that needed to add to their food budget, but maybe you do.
Listen, look at me.
Wow, that was a good one. He got you.
Zinger.
Oh, that was a good one. I liked that. The real answer is just to buy less cards. That's all you love.
I'm going to invest in a Subway sandwich and put it on my shelf.
I would invest in that and some icy hot. You just got burned. I would say buy the revised card. Buy the Sealess cards. It's what you love.
Yeah,
I have
why,
burn cream for
can I
my
ask
foot.
you? Are you losing faith in the serialized cards? Is that why this is even a conversation?
No, it's the same conversation I've had since the start of buying serialized cards. The serialized card release kind of coincided with the revised dual land drop in price. They kind of happened around the same time. So as I'm negotiating deals for serialized cards, it's hard not to go on eBay and go on TCG Player and be like, oh, for the same price as this serialized card, I could have a revised duel. And as someone who believes, I think the reserve list is a good thing. We've had this conversation before, and I like the idea of owning pieces of that list. It is hard for me to then allocate those funds towards something else when you look at an exact direct parallel that you've believed in for a decade now.
Yeah. Have you thought about like buying a foiled pauper deck?
Have you, Josh?
I have not. I did mull over the idea of putting a budget together to like build like pretend pauper decks and just have them around my house for people who want to play.
Listen,
like I thought about
the investment
doing
in that is not, it couldn't be better.
It's definitely a for fun thing to have and play. So I thought about it. But listen, the more you guys talk about it, you keep mentioning buy things you like, buy things you love, buy things when you see them on the shelf, you're not going to be mad. I keep leaning serialized cards, but I also feel that way about the dual lands I have. So I find I'm still stuck between the two. I know the revised starter deck seems cool, but it feels more like a one shot. And the more we talk about it, it feels more out.
I think the revised starter deck's less sexy on a shelf than you think.
No way.
No way. It's the old Magic box. The old Magic box on a shelf is one of the sexiest things you can do. My wife will never find me more attractive than when I come in wearing that as a loincloth. No way. Baby number 2 on the way.
Okay. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Louis? What are your thoughts on that, Louis? But agree or disagree?
Picture it, you guys. Picture it. It's great.
I've now seen you in person. Like, I can see it. You're a good-looking man.
Thank you. See, do it again.
I have some jokes. I'm going to keep them to myself.
That's
They're all about your thing being small. So
yes, we can get my wife on the podcast.
Let's do it. Get her in here. We got questions.
I don't know, man. I think I would stick.
I like how we went so far astray. Louis had to bring us back. That's how you know it's bad.
This is a conversation I'm not afraid to have.
I would stick to what you know, man. Like I would
That's not his first beer.
I would say you're close to having a lot of the cards, right? The serialized, aren't you going for a whole set?
One day I'd like to complete the set. I'm not what I would consider.
You can get 3 of them, can't you? At least 3 or 4 of the ones you're missing.
I could probably get 4.
That's almost 10%.
There's a lot of negotiate.
Yeah, aren't there 66 of them? That's 63? Almost. So 4 is almost 10%. It's like 7%, 6.5.
There's still a third more to go.
4
okay.
is a rounding error to 10% of those cards.
I mean, that's technically true depending on how you round.
Yeah.
And if you round up or down.
Yeah. Like
if you round to the nearest 10%.
If you round up to the nearest full 100% and only round up, it's actually 100%. Josh, have you thought about that?
I have.
I'm thinking about it. I think the serialized cards are risky, but 20 years from now,
fun.
20 years from now, there's certainly going to be.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
If this game is around in 10 years, guys, I'm in. Nutty.
Listen, if we do it with all the indie TCGs, we can certainly do it for the game.
Nobody does it anymore with the indie TCGs. That died.
Do they? So I think where I land, I'm stronger on serialized cards than I am.
I think George just got banned from those communities.
That could be.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's an episode of May the Zoo be with you. I think serialized cards. This has been fun. I will report back when I'm also cheap, as we know from the Subway conversation. Yeah. So I'll report back if and when I decide to finally spend the $1,200.
Listen, man, I get it. $1,200 in Magic cards compared to $10 in the sub all day, baby. Like, I'm all in.
Yeah, those are 2 very different things, aren't they?
Yeah.
We are broken. We're broken humans.
All right. Let's move on to the sorcery conversation. So I'm going to read the announcement that's put out, and then I'll pass over to George for initial takes on this, and we'll kind of piggyback off of that conversation if I can get Discord to load up here.
This is not your most flattering angle, George.
I think it's beautiful. You look great, buddy. All right, so it was announced on, I don't know, whatever this is, February 1st, start of the month, to address the number of requests, this is from Eric in the official Discord server, to address the number of requests from people that missed out on Kickstarter, we have partnered with Team Covenant to enable pre-orders of the beta edition of Sorcery Contested Realm. The beta booster box will contain the same 403 card set as alpha with minor tweaks and blah, blah, blah. The beta set will get 4 new elemental avatars, which we talked about a couple months ago on the podcast. It will also have a beta symbol instead of an alpha symbol. This limited time pre-order will help us gauge interest for the beta print run, and each box comes with an exclusive lightning bolt promo card that uses new art by Brian Smith, and that art looks pretty sweet. So yes, take it away, George.
All right, so I'm going to say this piece on sorcery, and then I'm probably done talking about sorcery for a good clip. First, let me reiterate, I really enjoyed playing the game. Shout out to Mean Mugging Games, who brought decks for me. I really enjoyed it. I really liked my time dealing with Simon when he was at the company. Like, I hope what I'm about to say isn't the case, but I fear it is. I probably can't carry this game. I have seen what happens when a small group of select stores get special access to games that other game stores don't. It throws off the entire market for the game. And just like last week we praised Lorcana for learning from other games' mistakes, it feels like perhaps sorcery has not yet. Giving an online store a guaranteed distribution, saying that they might be able to break street date, that hasn't been confirmed. That's just been kind of the buzz.
A weird one.
It's a weird one.
It was in there, I think, if I remember correctly, it was in the listing that it would ship as soon as they receive it, even if it's before street date.
Yeah, and you get a free promo. And people are ordering the boxes for the promo. So it's not even a good gauge of demand. It's a terrible gauge of demand. Because people are now ordering it not for the box, but for the promo.
Yeah, because they know they're going to have to buy the promo anyway.
Right.
The promo is going to be worth X amount of dollars. They rather just spend $150 on a box.
This is just this frustrates me because I really like the game. I was looking forward to carrying the game as a store. I can't do that anymore. I have a store that does enough business where I have to be able to carry a game at scale. If I can't carry a game at scale, I can't carry a game. It's just not, I don't have the room. I don't have the shelf space to sell 30 boxes of sorcery. I have to sell 100 boxes of sorcery for it to be worth my time. That's just the way my business is set up. It's the way it is. So I can't do that if I have to tell my customers, please buy from me. Yes, I can't guarantee you boxes like this other retailer can. Yes, you won't get an exclusive promo like you can't get from this retailer, and you'll get it later than if you order from my competitor. That's what this company is asking me to tell my customers. I can't do it. I won't do it. I won't. I'll carry Cryptic. I'll carry other games that have a much more level playing field. This is an absolutely baffling decision, to be candid. It sucks because I was very negative on sorcery. I think everybody knows that. Then I became positive on sorcery, and I guess now we've gone full circle. I will buy a couple boxes. I might even buy it from them to go play the game. I think it's a great game, but I think they have just made it far harder for stores to carry it. And shout out to all of you game stores who backed the game on Kickstarter. only to then be told by the game you backed that your customers should go order beta boxes from your competitor. I don't get this. I don't get this. It frustrates me, obviously. And like, I bit my tongue the last 3 times this topic has come up, and I think you both know that. I will probably bite my tongue in the future on this because like it's not fun to talk about, and I don't care enough to be honest with you. It's not a game that I play. It's not a game I carry. But like, I think this is a really strange and pretty foolish decision, if I'm being blunt. I'll also add that like on January 15th, he said that they're going to have an update on Kickstarter for Kickstarter boxes. That update has not happened yet. It's now February 9th. No update on what's happening with Kickstarter boxes. So just to be clear, before they have shipped a single box with a $4 million Kickstarter, they have said to go become somebody's patron to learn about the next mini set. They have spoiled a card that's coming out in a year and told you where to buy beta boxes. I don't get it. I don't get it, and it frustrates me because the game is beautiful and the game is good. That's why it frustrates me. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I'm done with sorcery.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of conversation about this. I think I hear where you're coming from, and I think we have seen this in the past where promo cards, exclusive promos, Card Shop Live, the whole fiasco with Card Shop Live, and the way that they handled the game. We saw this with Monarch from Team Covenant with a bunch of stock left over afterwards. There's been time and time again issues with exclusivity and early access to product for stores. I want to say a couple things in response to you, because while I agree with a lot of the things you say, I think you like me tend to be 100,000% or 0%. I think there is some more middle ground here. I think like promos to stores that are in promo, like we know that Rudy's going to have a promo. We've known that since Rudy announced that he was doing sorcery in beta. I think if you have an issue with Team Covenant having
my issue is not with Team Covenant. Let me be crystal clear.
I'm saying if you have an issue with Team Covenant having a promo, then I think you also have to have an issue with Rudy having a promo, and like at some degree, I think listen, like Rudy's got a bigger audience. Team Covenant has done far, far more sorcery content. Like Team Covenant does regular sorcery content. And so I do think like selfishly, obviously, like I am against promos for other stores because it creates this like false dichotomy of interest. And like my customers that I get, like I already saw this, like I have customers in my store who are ready to order sorcery from me. Like they've already purchased alpha. Like they've already talked to me to say, hey, I want to buy alpha. And I've already like pretty much agreed to sell them alpha at very cheap prices because I want to help the game grow. And they've already reached out to me and like, hey, I don't think I'm going to open my alpha now. I think I'm going to order beta from Team Covenant because of the promos. Will you get boxes? And that's super frustrating because now I'm like, I don't even want to sell you. I don't have any incentive to sell you alpha because why am I going to create a community in my local community if you're just going to turn around and go get the exclusive promos in order for beta? And more so the issue of the promo is that I can't even guarantee my customers the product yet, and they can go buy it. I don't even know what distribution is going to have this. I don't know.
They haven't announced what distributors are using yet.
Right. And I don't think they know. I don't think that they know who, like, so they assume that they're going to get into distribution. They assume that distributors are going to take them. But I don't think that they have it locked in yet. And so I can't even tell to my customers, no, don't order from Team Covenant, order from me because I don't know how many boxes I'm getting. And this is an issue with the system. I think this is an issue with the distribution and the way that this whole thing works.
No, I disagree.
Why? Like, so let's use Cryptic as an example because the Cryptic is doing the opposite of this. Cryptic has worked super hard to get into to Southern Hobby. And now they are dealing with an issue with Southern Hobby in that boxes, they have I think 9,000 boxes, something like that. 10, I don't remember exactly what the print run is for Wave 2. But they have to come up with a number without having any pre-orders or whatever to sell to Southern, and it's hard to gauge the interest. And the way that it works on the back end is the distributors agree to buy X amount of product, and so there's a scale. So if you look at a game like what was that game we never talked about? It's like Japanese theme, Akora.
Grand Archive?
No, Akora.
Oh,
like Akora boxes are like $30 right now. They're like dirt cheap because they printed way too much. So there's this like whole dichotomy of how much to print, how much to give distributors, how much the distributors order. So it's a broken system. But by giving Team Covenant I think this comes out in August, whatever month, how many months is that? 6-month window of which to guarantee product. I just think that's too far. The promo doesn't bother me because Rudy's getting a promo anyway. We know that. We know that online stores that do content are going to get promos and like that kind of thing. Like that doesn't bother me as much as like the extended window of pre-orders and guaranteeing and being able to say, we're going to put up pre-orders. And then after we've sold 2,000 boxes, we can then go to Eric's Curiosa and say, okay, we need 2,000 boxes. Every other store has to take the risk in 6 months or 5 months to go to their distributor and say, hey, I want 700 boxes or I want 200 boxes. The distributor to not give them numbers until a week before release and then try to sell their boxes all at the same time in the same instance. So that's the inherent flaw, I think, that the company's making by giving Team Covenant this ability.
I agree. And like, listen, at the end of the day, like this is up to them. I'm not going to worry about it. Like I'll carry Cryptic, I'll carry Lurkana. I'll be happy. Like my customers will be happy. Like, but it's fine.
That's the fear I have. Selfishly, I have a lot of issues. My fear, though, is for this game to succeed. In my opinion, for this game to succeed, it either needs to be in stores or not be in stores at all. Yeah. Like I would say a better model than this would be for Sorcery to just go direct to consumer. Sure. I would much rather have that.
This is I don't want to say more. Like I agree.
Because there's no risk for game stores if it's direct to consumer. Right? Like I just then as a store have product in store that I sell, or I have, like I host events and that becomes the flow for sort. I do singles, that kind of thing. But the risk from a distributor level, when you also have this stuff going on the other side, is the issue I have. Josh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I didn't. I thought you were done. That was my fault. I think what happens here, and again, this is the outside looking in, and I've seen from my side of the table when people are offered special items for the same products. You get the product and then special items. It's been a part of games that I've been a part of now on YouTube for the last year and a half. It's always happened. It's kind of become the norm. You see there's a certain amount of money from that community that's funneled outside. It doesn't matter how much you believe in your local game store. It doesn't matter how passionate you are. That does happen, right? And it seems like when a company does that, they're trying to skip steps. With indie TCGs, we've talked about on this channel, and I firmly believe you have to build as a small, rabid fan base that is willing to go far and wide and spread and champion your game. And what we saw here from George, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, George, but what I saw from you was a store that was passionate about a game, that was willing to essentially go to battle to build a community and spread this. And I said on the phone with you the other day, Louis, not only between the distribution questions and the lack of support with a promo, which I know you don't have a problem with, Louis, but I do, because I've seen it do a little bit of damage to communities. It's hard to believe why somebody would ever champion that at the store level. And I think you can't skip that step. I don't think you get to skip the small community being passionate, being driven, wanting your game, wanting more of it, wanting to talk about it. You can't skip that by providing a promo and going the reach route, because it's right. Team Covenant, Rudy, those platforms will have the reach. They will be able to reach a larger audience. but you're missing out on that passion. You're missing out on that nucleus. And I argue, even without that promo, you'd probably get most of that audience anyway. So I don't like this decision from top to bottom. That's just my opinion from the other side.
Let me just put a bow on this. I hope the game does well. We're rooting for the game. I know. I've played the game. I like the game. I think it's beautiful artwork. I think it's a beautiful game. I have no ill will towards Eric. I hope Eric does well. I hope the game succeeds. I hope the community blossoms. I hope everything goes wonderfully for the game, and I wish you all nothing but the best. I guess won't be at Compete Sport probably, unless something like drastically changes. And like, let me be very clear here: the drastic change won't be like an exclusive promo for Compete Sport. It will be like, oh, we have to rethink our business model.
Yeah, and listen, you don't deserve a promo for Compete Sport, and you're not asking for a promo for Compete Sport, and like that's not your argument.
I won't take one.
Yeah.
I think when the problem is this, and we've seen this in other games, what tends to happen is the add-on becomes almost more valuable than the box.
Yeah.
And so, like, I've already seen people ordering play sets of the boxes to get the places of the cards, right? They get the places of the cards, they get that many boxes. And so, like, it's not even a good gauge of demand. I think this is a frankly very confusing decision.
Yeah, because like the demand is there. This is what I don't like. This is
I also like we have no like. I don't want to get too into it. Like, we have no clue what the demand is because they haven't delivered a single box yet. Like there is nothing but demand right now because there's no supply. Yeah. Like, we have no clue what the demand will be like when the first 30,000+ boxes hit the market.
Yeah.
Like, we have no clue. That might be enough for 5 years. It could be enough for 5 minutes. We have no clue. Gauging demand before anybody's gotten any supply, I'm left absolutely baffled. And again, like, these are people who I'm sure are smarter than me. I'm sure like Eric has a plan. I hope it works. I hope he's right. I hope the game succeeds. I look forward to playing the game. I guess like I'll special order it for people, but I can't carry the game at scale.
Yeah.
It's not like I can't do it. I can't tell my customers, hey man, thanks for buying from me, but like,
I'm going a different route.
Somebody else.
I'm going a different route. I am going to be carrying the game. Actually, I already reached out to Eric to try to get a number for boxes. I just reached out to him directly and said, hey, I want to carry the game. Can you help me understand how I can be able to guarantee boxes to my customers without
what do you say?
Whatever. That's where we kind of had a conversation of like, we know this is coming out in August. That's kind of where the conversation went to. And we haven't finished that. But I'm going to be doing a promo with a playmat. That's kind of what I'm going to do for online sales. We're kind of lean into that. I'm going to have artwork commissioned and do a promo with a playmat to allow people who do want to support the content that I do, plan on having conversation. But I love this game. Like, I had so much fun playing this game. I wish I could play it more. I don't have boxes yet. I don't have cards yet. I don't like the cards have changed and all that stuff. Like, I plan on doing more with this game, especially locally. And like, I really enjoy it. So I'm not like, I see way more risk now. Not gonna lie. Like, the risk has certainly increased. But my desire to carry the game has not decreased. Which is an interesting place to be.
What I would want to see in that scenario, because I can understand what you're doing from your standpoint, from sitting in your chair, right? But I would like to see someone who's saying, hey, I'm going to make a playmat and do something for sorcery with money out of my own pocket. I'm assuming you said you're going to have art commissioned for a playmat?
Yeah, so like the risk there is it will cost me I don't know, I'm sure somewhere between $400 and $500 to commission the artwork. And then playmats are a full-size playmat like that is like $18 to $35 depending on the volume that you order. Yeah. So what it takes away is your ability to be rewarded
for that going above and beyond passion, because all you've done is go above and beyond and express your passion for something that you love, and it's just put you on an even playing field with someone else, right? That's all it's done.
No, and it doesn't do that. Listen, a custom playmat made by KitchenTableTCG does not put me on the same playing field as a promo given to with custom artwork a store who talks about the game.
That's the wrong phrase. It's an attempt to level the playing field, and it just drives back to that passion is what should be rewarded. That drive to put your own thing on the line is what should be rewarded. And listen, it's the reason I've left other communities that I've been in. It's a pillar of my core belief.
Let me be very clear. I don't think that should be rewarded. I don't think Rudy should have a promo. I don't think Team Covenant should have a promo. I think I don't think I should have a promo. I don't think anybody should have a promo.
Oh, it doesn't have to be rewarded with a promo. It can be rewarded with them sharing your content at some point, saying, hey, thanks for supporting us in a public tweet. Whatever it is, that passion should be rewarded. And it shouldn't be what you need to do just to play the game.
If the content from people is that valuable, then it shouldn't need to have a promo to sell the boxes. Like that's where I land, is like if the content that Rudy and Team Covenant provide is that valuable, it shouldn't need promos to sell boxes. And on top of that, people who are buying boxes, if you're buying boxes because Rudy is selling boxes with a promo, you should take a step back and ask, why is Rudy selling? But his confidence level of selling the product is almost guaranteed. He has a X amount of dollar promo added to his bundle for essentially free. Like you should see through the facade of a store having confidence in that stuff because of a promo. I think my concern with things like this is, will it prevent, and I asked this on the stream for Team Covenant the other day. So I think that this will prevent stores who are on the fence from wanting to carry sorcery, which will in turn mean that less, like George was on the fence. This will mean that less stores ask their reps about the game. I asked my rep about sorcery earlier today. He goes, I have no clue what you're talking about. I said, oh, it's a Kickstarter game. He goes, oh, there's a lot of Kickstarter games. I lost track. That's literally were his words. And so like if stores just kind of back out and they see what has happened in the past, they don't ask their rep. Now, all of a sudden, is sorcery, are we going to get into distribution? Are stores going to have a normal, like that kind of thing starts being a question, because it's a lot harder to get into distribution today than it was 6 months ago when everything was booming and every Kickstarter was worth $1 million. And, it was easy to kickstart your game and it was easy to sell product and it was easy. It's a lot more difficult now.
I want to compare this with Lorcana again. Lorcana.
You just want to do that to rub it. You just want to rub my nose.
I want to only talk about Lorcana. So I want to do in this world. Lorcana announced their distributors, how many sets are doing, international distribution, and their languages. Like they nailed everything down, as somebody called on this podcast would happen. So far I'm looking pretty good on both these calls, by the way. And listen, like I'm not gonna do it. Nope. Like the difference speaks for itself. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to be nice.
This goes to Lorcana. I mean, what you said, and like I get this. Like Lorcana is a bigger company, a bigger game, more like that. There's pros to that.
Somebody clipped this from a couple months ago. Geez, George, they just do board games. That'll be completely different.
I never said there wasn't positives to that. I said there's also negatives to that. What I said since day one with Lorcana is a print run issue with how many boxes do they have to print in order to be that size of a company with a game like Disney. That's always been my argument, and we still have no clue how that's going to pan out. So you keep that jolly old face on you,
because that was not the only issue you said.
I think that wasn't your only argument. I remember you arguing.
No, that was talking about the size of the company. That was my.
I'm glad you're sitting down because you must be dizzy from that spin. My guy, you roasted me.
Don't put me on George's side. I think you
roasted me when I said Lorcana will be fine because the only game company that hasn't released boxes yet that has already produced physical products, and you roasted me for that.
What do you mean they've already produced physical products?
Because they're the only game that have produced physical board games, physical games.
Oh yeah, and I still agree. I still agree that there's a major difference in designing a board game and a trading card game, and we haven't seen any evidence of the latter for that yet. When boxes come out and there's a chase card or there's something that people are really wanting that's significantly high value that causes boxes to be open, then you can tell me that you told me so. That hasn't happened yet. Like, that's my argument, that they will print too many boxes because this isn't a board game where you can order 1 billion board games and go direct to consumer, go on Amazon, go board games sit on the shelf, and 20 years down the road, like it's like
so we're on the same page. Lorcana is giving every LGS 2-week head start before it goes to big box.
That's awesome.
That's the way to do this.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the way to do this.
I 100% agree with them.
Like they what drives me crazy about new TCGs is that like they just refuse to learn from each other.
Yeah.
Like they're all trying to play the reach game though.
Say it again.
Yeah.
They're all trying to play the reach game. They're all trading exactly what you're talking about, that good faith and that proper model with a platform that can expose them to more people. That's what
they already had the Team Covenant platform. Like they're not gaining, like Sorcerer is not gaining anything out of this. They're just losing game stores.
That's what I wrapped up my very first take with, and I believe it's probably because they feel beholden to that. They feel like a lot of their success, or maybe their perceived success at a given time, is because of that platform.
Well,
I think Sorcery probably attributes a lot of its blowing up early to the platforms that it was on, for being on alpha investments and things of that nature. So it makes no sense that they wouldn't lean into that.
I think Rudy's a different animal. I part of this, I have a soft spot for Rudy. I think everybody knows. I think Rudy's a different animal. Listen, they owe Rudy a lot. After Rudy pumped it, they added millions of dollars to that.
That's fair. And I was actually going to say the same thing to you, Josh. Like, compare the number. I mean, TC's been talking about the game for a while. Compare the number of pre-release, and then Rudy puts out a video, and it's literally skyrocketed. I mean, it went up $2 million.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. They're saying we need the platform, so we're doing that at a different scale. They probably view Alpha Investments as a bigger platform, but they're saying, hey, we're kind of replicating that initial idea at a smaller scale here.
I disagree with you though, George, too. Like, I think I don't think anybody should have that. Like there's no difference between the only difference between Rudy doing this and another store and Team Covenant doing it is that Rudy charges $15 a month for the access to it.
And my customers don't have easy access to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference there.
That's a big difference to me.
Yeah, there's
my customer my customer doesn't have to choose between me or Rudy. He can't.
Yeah, if they're not patrons.
They're not a patron.
Well, I mean, if they're a patron, they probably already have chosen.
They're a patron. They've already chosen, right? That's how the sale I'm getting or sale I'm not getting, candidly.
Yeah.
With Team Covenant, these other LGSs, it's like they're picking between us, and I have a tough time telling my customer the value proposition of ordering from me. Yeah. Especially a game that's not meant to be played competitively at the LGS. It's meant to be played at home.
So I think that's, again, I kind of disagree with you. I think there will be some sealed and draft experiences for Sorcery that I think could be fun and good for stores. And
Have they announced anything like that yet?
Oh, it's definitely draftable.
Is it definitely draftable? Or do we think it's draftable?
No, it's draftable. There's been conversations about it. I don't know
let me be specific. Has the game company announced anything that makes it draftable?
No clue. But it's booster packs, so it's certainly draftable. You can sit down and draft.
All right, we're drafting collector packs next week. Who's bringing them?
I've had people.
You told me that last week.
I did that for you.
And I told you were insane.
For you.
You can do it.
You were nuts.
You can do that.
You can absolutely do that.
Great. It will not work great at all.
It's like that Meet the Fockers video. I have nipples. Can you milk me? That's basically what you just said.
Chaos drafts are super fun, where people get random 3 packs and
random. Hold on. Random 3 what packs?
I mean,
random 3 draft packs.
No,
draft them.
Listen, I'm gonna be a high roller.
One set and one draft. You mix them all together.
I don't draft collector boxes. I have $1,200 to spend on my life. Okay.
I don't know. I just think I come back to there's got to be easier ways to do this. There's got to be better ways to do this, and I don't think this is the way.
It's what it is. That's fine.
I think this creates as many. If this solves a problem. And I think that would be Eric's argument. I think that was Eric's argument, that this solves a problem. I think it creates a much larger amount of problems on the ground floor for stores who were hoping to carry the game. So
we're moving on. We wish I wish Sorcery the best. Wish Eric nothing but the best. I'll buy some boxes and play it. I'll be rooting for you, and we hope the game does amazingly well. We'll be rooting for you. That's it.
All right. Let's talk about
the big. Are we about that sample sale or no? No, let's not talk about the sample sale. That's 30% of what it was when it was $10,000. We won't talk about that. Go ahead, Louis.
No. Let's talk about Cryptic. So I've got my big event coming up, and we have the Cryptic card. I sent you guys this in our Discord group. This is an Orpheus card that will be a prize card for everyone who comes. It'll be a participation card. It'll be a participation card for everyone who comes, but then there will be a top 8 variant. So it will say top 8 on it. And then there will be a champion variant too for the champion. And this is Orpheus dressed in the West Virginia mountain man costume, fighting a bear.
All right. I want to let you know this is the biggest missed opportunity Tanner has ever had. How is it not a Mothman?
No, I don't think. Listen, I thought about doing Mothman.
Tanner, I love you. You know I love you. This should have been a Mothman card.
No, it's too close. No. It's too close. There's already games like MetaZoo's doing Mothman. I didn't want to go there. I thought about it. Certainly thought about it. West Virginia certainly would have loved it. I didn't go there. He's fighting a bear.
I'm just saying. I think that would have been awesome.
It would have been funny. But yeah, this is sweet. I'm super stoked about this. Orpheus is my favorite card. So I was stoked from my community. I actually reached out to like 3 or 4 guys in my community, and we're like talking about what ideas we had for cards. We talked about doing some coal mining things. And then we ended up going with it. We wanted to do Eligor, who like he generates a black mana or black soul. So there's going to be like coal, like he generated coal, like that could have been cool. But there was already the Eligor beer card, so I didn't want to do another promo for the same character. So pretty sweet, pretty excited about it. So the event is on March 4th, so come on down. We'll be streaming. Hopefully you have a computer up for streaming on KitchenTableTCG.
Mugging will be there. He'll stream. Me and Mugging will stream from anywhere.
Well, so at the new store, we're going to have the kitchen table, and so all my events are going to start being streamed at from Kevin's Market at the kitchen table, which will be kind of cool. So the top table will be the kitchen table. Get it? Because that's my YouTube channel.
If you didn't buy one of those old, really crappy kitchen tables that you like see at Goodwill, I'm going to be really upset. And you better there better not be sleeves at the kitchen table. There had better not be sleeves at the kitchen.
I'm in.
Everyone has to unsleeve their deck before they play. That'd be great. Super stoked for it. Really excited. Leads into another conversation though I wanted to have. I've noticed this on selling singles, and then also like when I started looking at the promo cards, I really got to notice it. And that is like Cryptic has what I'm going to call a Pokemon effect. And I think this is a absolutely key measurement of success for a TCG these days. Like a new TCG. Like Magic doesn't need to do it. Magic's Magic. But for new TCGs, like I think this is a measure of success that we should start evaluating a little bit. And that is that if you want to collect, like people want to collect all the Orpheus. If they like Orpheus, they want to collect all of his card. If they like Eligor, they have to have the Eligor promo because they want to collect all the Eligor cards. If they love Cleo, they want to collect all the Cleo cards. And that happens with Pokemon. You see people who have a binder full of Dragonite. Like Dragonite's my favorite Pokemon. I've started collecting one of each of the Dragonite. I'm nowhere close, but like I have a binder and it's just Dragonites. Like you see that in Pokemon. And I think that's a major funnel for demand that I think Tanner's doing a really good job of creating with the lore cards and with the ways of exciting people.
And he's doing a better job of that by having different art for some of the heroes or some of the characters in Wave 2.
Yeah.
So like that will Tanner's finding ways to build demand.
Yeah.
Organically.
And not just the different artworks, but even like having the foil pattern with the cryptic text card in the back, the cryptic card in the background. Like that's a reason that you want Wave 2 version of Cleo, is if you collect all the Cleos, well, you have to have the Wave 2 with the cryptic text of Cleo in the background. Like that's super cool.
Well, I mean, like, again, like, I think what Tanner understands is like the shortcuts that were available in the pandemic era,
2020, 2021. Yeah.
Those are over.
Yeah.
Like you now have to build actual demand. you have to actually engage your customer base if you want to grow the game and keep them coming back. And like, here's like the hard part for all of you new TCGs. That's a hell of a lot harder. Like that is a lot harder than anything you crap out on Kickstarter going to the moon the second it releases.
Yeah.
And Tanner, I think, understands that and is doing the hard work to make that successful.
More than anything he's doing in the boxes, I think what's making is the Van Tour. Going to LGSs and playing the game with owners and having conversations on the ground floor and teaching people in the store how to play the game. Like if he goes on his Van Tour, I don't know how long it is, if he reaches 100 new LGSs, like that's an incredible amount of increased demand. Those LGSs start talking to their friends. They join the Discord server. I mean, you can just see how like it can spread like a wildfire as people start posting and getting engaged in the game. And like it's work ethic and drive and energy that gets there.
And that's what I think people understand is that like, like I am friends with 3 of my competitors in Charleston. So like they call me and they say like, what's working for you? What's not working for you? And I got no problem sharing with them. They're friends of mine, right? Like, they're like legitimate friends of mine. So I tell them, oh, this game's doing well for me. Oh, this game, not so hot for me. Oh, this game's got a great CEO and they're doing good stuff. Or, oh, this game, well, listen, we can't all be winners. That is how games grow organically.
Yeah.
Tanner doesn't have to go to all those stores because like he'll come to mine or he'll go to theirs and they'll tell me or I'll tell them. Like one of my competitors, sorry, buddy, you took one on the chin for me and you took a Cora and I appreciate you. I appreciate your sacrifice. I want you to know that. What are you going to do? They can't all be winners. And Cora, I hope it comes around. They're going to change their print run. I hope it works for them. I really do. We're rooting for you. He was like, listen, like Magic's a good game. You could probably carry some more Magic. It's like we all talk. Like there's a group of us that talk, and there's also a group of like people like with like larger stores that all talk, right? Yeah. Like, I'm in a group that's like, I would say probably the 5 or 7 largest LGSs in the southeast. Like we all talk. We're all friends. We all know each other.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's super cool. I think like that Pokemon effect, in my opinion, is going to do a lot for the collectible side of the game. Never mind, like just like wanting to flex cool cards on like the gameplay side too.
I don't this. I play with the cheapest possible versions of my decks.
Oh, no way! I did a live commander build and I included Swiftfoot boots just so I could put the serialized one in the deck.
Oh my god!
Yeah, don't do that.
It's happening.
God help me.
The guy who has a $3,000
to his name,
$3,000 Popper Elf deck. Don't do that. Don't play with your serialized card.
Too late.
I just bought foiled out Popper Affinity on Monday. I was playing our Popper Affinity deck, and I was like, I like this.
Not cheap.
I like this a lot, so I bought it out in foil. Cash back again.
You missed though, Louis, because now it's my turn to do a shout out. Sam gets a shout out. He has a Magic collection. I'm not going to tell you what Sam he figured out with every card in Magic that has ever featured a squirrel in the flavor text, squirrel as the creature type, squirrel in the art. Every card in Magic's history that has ever had a squirrel on it, he's got a binder, and you flip through this thing and it just keeps going, man.
That's
every single one. It's pretty funny. It's pretty great.
Wasn't there some crazy squirrel in the box of one of the boxes, on the top of one of the boxes?
Probably.
In MH2, isn't there a squirrel?
Yeah, that's what I thought, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of that squirrel? That's that crazy squirrel in MH2.
Is that Chatterfang?
Chatterfang, yeah. It's
great card. Great card.
Which
great
by
set.
the way, he has in the era of variants, he's got every variant of all these freaking squirrels.
I'm in.
It's crazy. It's
I'm in.
wild.
Listen,
It's a
Squirrel
great
Tribal's
binder.
no joke. Squirrel Tribal can get you.
Oh, it goes big. He's got lands because he's like the island. The artist who made the island in the land intentionally shaped it like a squirrel. That was his little inside joke. He wrote some article about it, and he went out and he bought that land and added it to the binder. Like, oh, dude, he's all in.
Love
It's
it.
great.
I was with you until that part. Now I'm a little.
No, that's dedication, George. Step your game up.
That is dedication. I will agree that it's dedication.
I love that Magic's really the only game that things like that can happen, because if you did that for any other game, there'd be like
You'd have 4 cards.
eight cards. Like, but Magic, there's like, I was trying to talk to somebody about, somebody came into the store the other day and was like, hey, I want to learn how to play Magic. And like, she bought a Magic Commander Precon. I was like, listen, like, this is the worst way to learn how to play the game. Come to Pauper Night. Pauper is the best way to learn that game. And I was like, there's 30,000 cards. And that's not an exaggeration. There's like 30,000 cards that you have to know, that you have to learn. That you have to,
Well, I mean,
learn.
Pauper's really no different. Like,
Yeah, but like it's a lot different. You want to know why it's different? You have 4 of each card in your deck. You have 20 cards to learn.
the 4 of each card in your deck makes sense until you go and play the next deck. Like, the problem with Pauper is, again, it goes so wide.
Yeah,
There-
you mean
There's
the
got to
deck
be a lot of
list?
good self-contained, and I know, like, I was thinking about this the other day. Are the challenger decks or things like that, if you just get with a friend and buy only two decks, 2 of some pre-constructed, where you can play them
Yes.
over and over again and start
I
to
agree
learn
with
what
you,
the
Josh.
cards do?
I agree. That's
Okay,
a great
he's going to
product.
interrupt me before I finish. Are you still
If you need it,
done?
if you need a
Are you done?
palette,
I'm
if
going
you
to
need
keep
a palette
talking
of
while you're
those,
talking just to see
if you
how
need a
this
palette
goes.
of those, message
Why
me.
don't we just keep experimenting here?
If you need a palette of those, message me. I got you. Continue, Josh.
I would think it would be easier to buy like 2 60-card decks and just keep jamming them over and over again. Because Louis, what you said, dude, the game is so old. You're gonna come across things you'll be like, and what does this do? Like, I have no. How does this? Oh, now someone's playing a background. What does that mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, it's wild.
Anyway, so back to Cryptic. Yeah. Anyway, I just think that Pokemon experience is cool, and I'm excited for my event. Like, we have, I think last I looked, there was like 23 people already registered for the event. We have like a 32 cap because we don't want it to go till 3 a.m. But I'm pretty sure.
Cryptic all-nighter, dude. Get in the van. Let's do this.
So if we end up selling out, or it's free, but if we end up running out of space, we're gonna run some drafts. So if you're still planning on coming, come hang out. We've got like a community, probably, I think there's 20 people in my community who have decks built.
That's cool.
It's been fun. Yeah, it's super cool. It's super exciting. So I'm really stoked for the event. So hopefully people can make it. Leave it in the comment section if you're coming. So, all right, let's talk about MetaZoo and partner stuff. And then we'll call it a day. So 2 things we want to talk about. Number 1, MetaZoo, a really cool way to do. I thought, this is kind of in theme with the conversation today. A really cool way to do promos for game stores. They're doing for partners with your logo on a bunch of. My understanding of it is a brick of cards. I don't know if all those cards are the same or if they
are.
Well, he also said they're.
Wait. Hold on. You mean like each brick is the same card? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if we have all the details of it exactly. He alluded to it being like the playtester bricks.
Yeah.
So like, I assume it's 1 card. I guess the easy factor would be if it's 1 card, all the cards are the same and everyone has their own logo on it. I guess that's probably what it'll end up being.
I see what you're saying. Each store gets their own card. I don't know that.
I kind of like, I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be a brick with 150 like different cards all with the stamp on it? That would be kind of cool. I think that'd be cool. I think
That'd be terrible. That'd
Why?
be a terrible idea.
You have one
People fighting over the different cards.
I guess so. I like
Everybody wants that
I
West
like-
Virginia Mothman.
I like chaos, man.
I know you do.
Louis just knows West Virginia's in the spotlight in this situation. He's like,
I
give it
know.
to me, baby.
It's
Let
like-
me go.
When I first heard about MetaZoo and heard that it was Mothman and all the West Virginia cryptids, I was like, I'm in. I'm in. That's all it took.
I love living in Chicago where I could like have things to do where I don't know what the cryptid in my area is. It's so
Yeah.
great.
It must be nice to eat soup when you're trying to eat pizza. Like, that must be
We
great.
called it lasagna last week. Like, let's pick a theme. Like,
Anyway, so this is cool to give partners like a promo card that goes with their thing.
Yeah.
There's already been some cool conversation about like partners like encouraging people to collect sets. So like you not only buy from this partner, but you also want to buy from that partner to get like the whole set. It's kind of a cool theme. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Becoming
cut
important is that every partner gets that. Every partner has the right to do that. It's not one partner gets it, these partners don't. Every LGS partner gets it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they just did an onboarding, or they announced the goal to do an onboarding of new partners. Like they're trying to grow who gets the inside look at that. And
Mike is trying to find a small group of committed people, or decent sized group of committed people and committed stores to help grow the game, which I think is smart. That's what all these games need to do.
Listen, pass or fail. Mike is trying to solve the issue that I brought up earlier, which is the distribution model.
100%.
Which is like,
100%.
you got to give him props for attempting to solve that issue. I saw a conversation about like on Facebook about pre-orders at distribution being low for the next set for MetaZoo. I was like, that doesn't surprise me, because anybody who is really like ordering MetaZoo is probably a partner. They're getting it directly from MetaZoo. And as a store, I certainly would rather support the game that I'm producing more than support the distributor that is giving me product. Like that is like, I care about the game company more than I do about like the middleman.
What a bold take.
I'm not.
What a courageous take.
It's not courageous. It's an obvious take. Like,
I'm with you. I agree with you.
So I think that's super cool. I think the promo thing is really cool. And they seem to be working with, trying to get more stores on board, which I think is also a win. So, there's also another conversation about that is they released some, there's like a weird leak of some of the partner stuff. And one of the things that I guess I can talk about got leaked is it's not really Scoopy because it's like all over the place. But there were some things
anti-Scoopy.
There were some.
Wait, it is Scoopy. It's on Facebook.
It's a Facebook post. It's a Scoopy.
Facebook Scoopy.
Remember your roots, dude.
There were some.
Come on, Louis.
There were some things sold to partners that had previously been direct-to-consumer stuff, either on eBay or on MetaZoo's website, and people are kind of up in arms as the MetaZoo community likes.
George, you only have to roll your eyes and shake your head once. When it doesn't get a reaction the first time, you don't have to do it again.
No, the world needs to know that this is a stupid argument.
Can I finish what they said?
Go ahead.
He was just saying what happened. He didn't make an argument for or against.
No, it's not Louis' argument.
Yeah, I am not this person, but people are upset.
Relax, Josh. Relax, buddy.
I thought we were calling Louis dumb.
Have another Michelob Ultra and enjoy yourself. All right?
He burned me. Louis. I wanted to pile on. Okay.
Did I burn your foot, or did you drop water on it?
Oh, that was not a good one. That was lame. That wasn't good.
That was pretty good.
It's all right. Cooking eggs is hard. Good. Okay. So
a baby, okay.
Did the baby burn your foot?
Yeah.
That's fine.
I just want to blame someone else. She didn't do anything wrong. She was
babies are dangerous. You don't know, George. You don't know.
Pooped on me.
What are we talking about? Okay. So people are upset. Not Louis.
Sorry, Josh interrupted you.
Louis not upset, but other people.
I didn't interrupt him. You did, George.
Go ahead, Louis.
Other people are upset.
I don't think that's true, Josh.
Those products were previously.
There's no way you disagree with me.
He's gonna stroke. This will be the end. This is the last episode.
I just want the comment section to know that I'm trying really hard right now. I'm trying really hard to produce a great podcast, which is being ruined by Mr. Burnfoot and Baldy. Okay, like. Anyway, people are upset because they previously said that the products were sold out, and now they are giving more product to stores. And so the argument is, if you purchase this product knowing that it was sold out, and not thinking that there were more supply coming, then you're at a loss here.
You're not at a loss here. You bought a box of something, and you got that box of something. You got exactly what you bought, period. And I have said this from the get-go. I think there are very fair criticisms of some of the things MetaZoo has done and does. How they treat partners is not on that list. They listen, I remember being very skeptical, like, will Mike actually give us access to these high-end, high-profit DTC items? And like the answer has been a resounding yes, he will.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is a good thing. I will like defend this. Like Mike has. Remember, like last week, I said like I really wish I had my poker decks. I still do, but like I very much like Mike has treated partners very, very well in the program, and I think like this is part of that. It's like you get DTC product, like that's what it means.
I understand the argument. I understand your argument, and I understand the other side too. I think when I hear this and when I saw that, this seemed so they do direct to consumer now, and then also give partners access at the same time now. Don't quote me. My understanding, actually, I'm 99% sure about this. All the products that were sold that people are arguing about were sold not to that was not part of the partner program. You couldn't get those previously. Right? Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't think I am.
Want to describe me what the product is that you're thinking of, and I'll tell you.
Well, it was like Magiccast wasn't to partners, was it?
I think it was. I think you could get some.
Because that changes the argument. Because the only thing in my mind, while you guys look this up, is if when the consumers bought it DTC, it was marketed as it will be this one time available and then will never be available again. Well, if it was marketed that way, then this feels like it could be shady. But if it wasn't marketed that way, there's extra product. They can do with it what they wish. Like that's fine. And supporting their partners, good thing.
Magiccast, eBay Wilderness, and Fandarts. I can't remember the timeline.
eBay, I know we could, but it was like a weird thing because like we had to basically buy the same price, which was fine because like might get no discount. Like I think we got access to all those things if I remember.
Yeah, we may have gotten access to Fandart's the one that makes me wonder that we had access to. I don't think Magiccast. I don't think there was partners back then.
I think it was the first product. I think it was
no, because I think you were upset that we didn't get access to it. I think I distinctively remember that was the product that you were upset about.
That was before he actually figured it out. Oh, you're right. That's when he figured out afterwards that we deserve DTC access.
So anyway,
I mean, like, listen, like, I don't know.
Point here is like MetaZoo has an option. If they launch a product, I'm guessing if MetaZoo is smart, and everybody wants this for the record. If MetaZoo sells a product direct to consumer, they keep a certain amount of supply back for when you get your box, and everybody likes to post their MetaZoo box that got destroyed and their Magiccast box is a pancake and it's completely flat. And then you reach out to MetaZoo support and you say, hey, I want another one. If they didn't keep any percentages, if they didn't keep any product back to fulfill for that, then they don't have anything to do. Like they have no product to fulfill that. So MetaZoo, let's say, like they have X amount of percent back. Now they have an option. Would you rather MetaZoo go direct to consumer and say, hey guys, we have this in our warehouse. We have this extra product. Here it is. Or the lesser of the evils, in my opinion, is to take that product and give it to stores who are carrying the game. It's on their shelves. They're spreading the game. They're running events. They're doing the things that you do as a partner. And like, that's the win. Like that's the win here, in my opinion, is that MetaZoo went to the partners, not direct to consumer, not some sketchy thing on eBay or, something like that. I think like you have to remember that all companies hold back product for loss prevention.
Right.
That's what I see in this. It was not an extreme amount of product.
It was tiny. I mean,
Magiccast was limited to 2 boxes. Like
I've said this before, I think there's fair criticism of MetaZoo. I think there's probably too many. I think there's too, but like I think like Mike has treated the partners very, very well. And like he's rewarding those who support the game and have supported the game, and like good for him. Like that's what we should strive for.
Yeah. I don't think there's enough supply of this to hurt the market on those prices. In a long term, for certainly not. Maybe in the short time, you see some of the like eBay. The eBay boxes are a little weird. I don't think
we maybe in the short term, right?
Yeah, but anyway, interesting things. A lot of like weird dialogue about it. Like definitely typical MetaZoo people super upset or super against it. I just wish like can we just be like even keel for a little bit? No, we don't want that. I want that. Speaking of even keel, NFTs. The
you want to get the dislike button pumping. There you go.
If you're still watching an hour and 40 minutes in, you're not going anywhere. You're here.
You said it was going to be me an hour.
You're here.
I have about an hour of your time.
Genesis NFT cards are shipping next week, according to Mike. That's pretty stokey. I'm stoked about that. I've been waiting. You probably missed it because you don't pay any attention to any of that. So you probably don't have the Neo Genesis NFTs, and you probably don't have the cards.
I think he's got airdrop the Neo Genesis. No.
Yeah, he may have airdropped the Neo Genesis. That might be the thing.
Mike, reach out to me. I'll give you my address.
There behind the scenes dealings going on.
I mean, like, yeah, if I get cards, I want my cards.
Is this why you haven't gotten your
No, I looked. I even confirmed I did the stupid little
backer
Kickstarter
kit
thing.
I hate Kickstarter backer kits. I think they're the
It's the
dumbest.
worst. It's
I
the
think they're
absolute worst.
Like, I already gave you my shipping address. Just shipping my stuff when it's ready. I have 700 unread emails. I'm not going to see your Kickstarter email. I promise you. I back 100 Kickstarters a day. I'm not going to see your
We're all
Kickstarter.
18 months late. It's amazing.
I got 100 Kickstarters a day. The best part is we don't know if that's a lie.
I backed a really cool RPG that uses glow sticks.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. All right. That's it, everyone. That's the podcast. It's over.
Pollywog.
We're ending on glow sticks. We have fallen so far from
We're ending on
grace.
glow sticks and Pollywog.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. If you want to check out Josh's channel, make sure you go watch Hometown TCG.
I like how last week we shamed you into doing this. Now you're like, I got to mark it down. I got to do it.
It's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, I know it is. I can see you reading it.
No. Last week, the only thing he plugged on my channel was the short that I made with him in it. That was it.
Go watch all of Josh's.
Hold on.
When are you streaming next?
I get a second here. I'm actually coming out with a vlog style video tomorrow that I'm really worried about performing poorly. So I'm really worried about this.
Linked in the comment section below will be Josh's video. Go watch that right now. After you hit the like button.
If you don't watch all of it, just watch like 5 seconds of it so he gets to click.
Yeah. Leave a comment on that video that says
Josh will pick a random winner and he'll give that person a pack of cards.
A Dominaria United collector box shipped from George.
If you comment on that, Louis will finally send me a card with his face on it because that's all I've wanted for like a year now.
All right, everyone, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, go to Josh's channel, go shop at captainsmarket.com. It's soon to be gamegrove.gg. And if you're in
.gg?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Why?
No.
Because it's an esport arena, and GG, good game.
We understood that, boo boo.
And
That wasn't. We weren't lost on that.
B, Game Grove is
George?
GG.
George, are we boomers?
It's cool.
I don't think so.
It's hip.
I don't think so either.
It's hop. It's what the kids are doing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Listen. Now that we know your website,
GameGrove.gg.
may the best be with
It's what the kids are doing, man.
Oh.
You gotta get those Pokemon sales. So, all right, everyone, be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video, and may the zoo be with you.
May the GG be with you too.
GG, dude.